Tom Brady is viral right now for an interview on a podcast yesterday in which where he discussed the process of Shedeur Sanders not being drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders, even though he has a minority ownership in. He said he wasn't involved with the draft process. But it doesn't take away Shedeur Sanders has been locked in with the Cleveland Browns. And it seemed like he fell into a good situation or a decent situation despite Tom Brady not getting hands on and making sure the Las Vegas Raiders get Shedeur Sanders, even though Shedeur looked at him as a mentor. Things along that line. It doesn't take away from the fact that Shedeur is indeed going to have himself a pretty good training camp and potentially could win the Cleveland Browns job. Hit the like button for me right now. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Turn that post notification bell on to all. We're going to get into it now. The Las Vegas Raiders did indeed draft a quarterback out of North Dakota State. Was the quarterback that Shedeur Sanders actually played against this last season. Now, you guys know Cam Miller is a guy in which where you guys seen did get drafted by Las Vegas. And Shedeur Sanders ultimately ended up not getting drafted by him, but Travis Hunter and him had a great year. Now, I'm going to unpack some things as pertaining to Tom Brady and the controversial situation as pertaining to Shedeur. Now, you guys can see previously, Skip Bayless said it is now pretty clear Tom Brady, who mentored Shedeur, told the Raiders not to take Shedeur. You guys can see Tom Brady ultimately ended up responding to not only that, but it do seems like, he could have stepped in and made sure Shedeur Sanders became a Las Vegas Raider. It do seem like if you got minority ownership and you are a guy that's as legendary as Tom Brady, anything of his word, of his power, would hold weight. Now, no matter how you want to take it, how you want to unpack it, Tom Brady is going to have some questionable things by the end of this clip.
Why did he go so late in the draft?
I mean, it's a good question. I wasn't a part of any evaluation process or
Skip Bayless says
that.
Otherwise.
No. Well, everyone's got that's the problem with media is everyone can just say whatever the fuck they want. I actually texted Shedeur because I know him very well. And I said, dude, like whatever happens, wherever you go, like that's your first day. Day 2 matters more than the draft. I was 199.
Yeah.
So who could speak on it better than me? Like what that really means. Yeah. Use it as motivation. You're going to get your chances. Go take advantage of it.
Now, that is Tom Brady and what he had to say about Shedeur Sanders and the situation in which where he fell to the 5th round. Now, I can't say that I can't confirm or deny that Tom Brady was necessarily telling the Oakland Raiders not to get Shedeur Sanders, as previously reported by Skip Bayless and what he speculated. I can't necessarily say he didn't tell him not to get him, but he definitely didn't campaign or seem like he didn't campaign to get Shedeur Sanders as a part of the Las Vegas Raiders because we know his name holds weight. He understands the game of football, but however, he did expose the text message that he sent to Shedeur Sanders, as it said, I was 199, so who can speak on it better than me? Use it as motivation. You're going to get your chances and go take advantage of it. Now, Tom Brady, with that right there, it all looks good. It's all dressed up pretty well. But at the same time, a guy by the name of Cam Miller out of North Dakota State was indeed drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders. And this is where things get a little bit sticky for Tom Brady, and it seems like he kind of filtering the truth. Now, this is what they had to say right as pertaining to Tom Brady. They said, I wasn't part of the evaluation process to see that. Brady said of the Sanders decisions, there been the impression that some of the Raiders picks, including popular 6th-rounders Tommy and Cam Miller, were influenced by Brady. If that's true, it's hard to believe. Now, this continuing on by saying Tom Brady, a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, reportedly played a significant role in the team's decision to draft Cam Miller in the 6th round of the 2025 NFL Draft. Brady consulted with the Raiders GM John and expressed a high opinion of Miller's throwing technique and potential for development. That sounds a little bit different of a guy that wasn't necessarily involved. That's what he previously said. They can continue on by saying he liked the way he threw it, his technique, throwing from the ground up, and his motion. They said Brady's assessment of Miller, and he thought he had the potential to improve. Miller went 45-11 as a starter in North Dakota State and won FCS National Championship, and Brady likes a winner. Now, mind you, Brady said previously that he wasn't involved with none of this process right here. I don't know if this is what he's trying to do to try to make it like he wasn't one of the ones that necessarily didn't want to get Shedeur Sanders, or maybe he didn't think Shedeur Sanders was a good fit. But it's looking like the things that Skip Bayless previously had to say is now pretty clear. Tom Brady, who mentored Shedeur Sanders, told the Raiders not to take Shedeur. Like I said, I won't go that far, but it definitely looked like he had his eyes set in other places, as he literally described as has been reported all the great things about Cam Miller, and then on the podcast came back and said he had nothing to do with this whole process. If you had the opportunity to get this guy in the 6th round, you definitely had an opportunity to get Shedeur Sanders, or give this same sentiment about Shedeur Sanders in previous rounds that it was passed on by the Las Vegas Raiders. But either way, you guys can see Shedeur Sanders is locked in. I do think this exposes, if it's indeed true about the things that he said about Cam Miller, it definitely exposes Tom Brady for telling a complete lie on the podcast about not being involved. Hit the like button for me right now, subscribe, turn that post notification bell on to all, get in the comment section below. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole situation right here as pertaining to Shedeur Sanders, Tom Brady, etc. Thank you so much.